Okay, testing audio. Give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me. Okay, cool beans. Okay.
Who's the guy in the baseball cap?
He's incognito.
Yeah, let's check that guy's ID.
I don't think he can hear us yet. Okay. Dan, okay, I got Sean. I still know Phil. Huh. Wow, it goes so slow. Okay, everybody. Looks like, well, I'll take roll call here in a second, but welcome everybody to our Monday, February 22nd special city council meeting. We've got a small order of business to take care of before we start our interviews. So I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order and take roll call. So please let me know if you're in attendance. Mayor Pro Tem Kennedy?
Present.
Councilmember Langford?
Present.
Okay. Councilmember Dunn?
Happy Monday.
All right. Councilmember Severs?
Hey, folks.
So Councilmember Kurtz?
Present.
And Councilmember Follier. I don't see him yet.
There he is.
There he is.
Right.
Sorry, Phil, I got to move you up the screen here.
Moving
All
on
right,
up.
so it looks like here. Moving on up. Gotcha. Okay, so it looks like we have all members in attendance. So I'll go ahead and Mayor Pro Tem, if you'd like to do the agenda approval.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. We'll grab it here. For the council, I ask for, make a motion that we approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
And moved and seconded. Any discussion around the agenda? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, the agenda is approved as printed. All right, so we move to ordinances. So I think Ann is on here somewhere. Ann, are you on? Don't either. Okay. Excuse me just 2 seconds. I'm going to stick my head out into the hallway.
Oh, yeah, she's in the room out there.
Oh, okay. Hand around here to read the ordinance. We need to answer the ordinance. Yes, we do. Apologies, everybody. She'll be joining us in just a second. We're getting the interviewees all set for their time here. Okay. I tell a good joke, but I don't know any. She's connecting. Again, I'm sorry for
This
the
week
delay,
brought-
everybody.
Aye. I tried.
I could only caught part of what you said, Hugh.
I said this meeting brought to us by Fresca.
Yeah.
Who is our sponsor?
Coca-Cola, if only.
Well, are we having connection issues? Todd, it looks like she's still trying to connect.
She's connected.
Okay. There we go. Looks like okay. And if you're speaking, it looks like you're on mute.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, Council.
There you are.
Good
Sorry, we can
evening.
hear you. Thank
This
you.
is, are you ready for the second read ordinance?
We are. Thank you, Ann.
City of Liberty Lake, Spokane County, Washington, ordinance number 234A. An ordinance of the City of Liberty Lake, Washington, amending City of Liberty Lake ordinance number 234 relating to a code of ethics.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Make a motion to approve second read ordinance number 234A.
Second.
We have a move and second discussion. So in your packet is the redlined version of the language in section 6. Hopefully everybody's had a chance to review it. It reflects what we had discussed at the last meeting. So is there any further discussion? Hearing none. Okay, do we have any public comment on the ordinance? Now would be the time for any of the public to shoot a quick chat to our meeting moderator, Todd Henderson, if you have any comments on the amendment to ordinance 234. You don't see any? Okay. All right, so no citizen comment, and it sounds like no further discussion on this amendment to the ordinance. So all in favor of the proposed change to ordinance 234, please indicate by raising your right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 out of 6. So motion passes. So we have ordinance 234A has passed as amended. Thank you, everybody. So that takes us to our interviews. So I guess I will step out again real quick, and I'll let them know, and we will have our first interviewee come in. And I don't know if the council got the list or not, but Mr. Morrison is our first interviewee. I will go grab him. Yes, we did. Mike, we're gonna bring him in behind you because the cords are there. There should be plenty of room. Get out of your way. Welcome.
Hello.
Let me get you down here in front of the computer at the end.
Thank you. Welcome. Thanks.
Nice to meet you. Thanks, Kate, appreciate it. Okay, so we'll move this a little bit closer to you, so we've got our microphone on that. So, you go by Doug or Douglas?
My name's Drew.
Drew, well, you've got your whole name on here.
I did.
I'm sorry.
Yep, no
So
problem.
Drew, okay, so, the council is here, and so, if you want to put the time back to 5.
Right, yeah, I was just gonna say.
That would be great. So Drew, you've got 5 minutes to kind of give us a statement, let us know about you and
Okay.
whatever you'd like to tell us.
Okay. My name is Drew Morrison. I've lived in Liberty Lake for about 5 years. My wife and I moved here just before our twins were born. We had both just left the Air Force. So we're both Air Force officers. And when we finally got a chance to choose where we wanted to live, we looked all around. Neither of us had any family ties here or anything like that, but we had run Bloomsday once, and we hiked in this park. And you know
Nice.
what? And so
Very
we
good.
said, we liked it there. So that was the initial, hey, let's come back and take a look. So we looked at many different places around the Northwest, and eventually, just because of its sense of community and the trails and parks, and just kind of the feeling of everybody saying hi to you when you're walking, that kind of thing, we said, we're going to move there. And we did. And so we want this to be where we raise our kids and they grow up. So we're making our own family ties here. When I was in the Air Force, I graduated from the Air Force Academy. I had an engineering degree. And then I was a fighter pilot in the Air Force. I was also a training pilot, and I was the operations officer of a large training organization in the Air Force. I also had some non-flying assignments where I was able to lead other people, whether they're peers or junior airmen, in the U.S. Embassy in Iraq and what was called the Office of Security Cooperation, where I worked bridging Iraqis and Americans together, the military folks. And I also worked at a specialized engineering analysis center near Washington, D.C. for a while, where I had a chance to lead a team of engineers working on special projects. Basically, now I work for as a corporate pilot for an international roofing company, commercial roofing. And my strengths are organization, communication, and leadership would be my main strengths. You asked me just to, do you want me to use the 5 minutes, or do you have questions?
No, so this is all time for you.
All time for me, okay.
Yes.
So I kind of thought about what, if I was you guys, what would I ask? So I guess I'll go into that. If I was you guys, I'd ask, why do you want to do this? My kids are about 5, like I said, we moved here 5 years ago, right when they were born. Now I feel like I have more time to get out and do something for my community. And so that's what I want to do. And I want them to be proud of this community. I want them to feel the same sense of community that I felt. So I want to give back. I feel like that Liberty Lake has done a really good job of developing in a way that brings us together, which is a good motto that you guys came up with. But I would like to continue that. And I also like the fiscal responsibility that the city has shown while it's done that. And I think that in the future, we need to continue that. Now, I see some challenges ahead as some of those facilities and infrastructure, that kind of thing, age, and as well as build out continues and the north side of the highway there. I think that to keep that sense of community, we need to be forward thinking, so that we don't become a city that's sort of divided by I-90, if you will. The bridging projects are good. I almost like that we don't have any more interchanges. We just have bridges across, because those are now local roads. That's cool. But we need to be thinking about all kinds of things to bring those two sides of the city together. So I want to be a part of that. And I want, in the future, I want, my kids to be able to know that, hey, this is home, and be proud of it. So that's really why I want to do it.
Very good, very good.
Got a little bit.
Answer for anything?
Well, we're not set up to ask questions.
Okay,
Like,
fair
we need to
enough.
make sure we ask everybody the same questions.
Yeah,
We've
fair
got
enough.
another minute if there's anything else you want to tell us about yourself or your family or.
Well, I thought we were going to get questions, so maybe I should have come up with some. I guess
You're doing great.
No, that's fine. The things, I had thought, hey, what were some talking points if I needed to steer some questions? What I've had experience with in the past, not necessarily that you guys are looking for someone with this, but I have some budgeting experience. I got to use some significant budgets in the Air Force, so some of our flying training budgets were like $27 million. Now, I was executing that instead of actually budgeting it, but we had our own $190,000 budget that we executed for travel and that kind of thing. So I have some budgeting experience. I have lots of leadership experience working with different people in communication based on leading those operations. So that's my experience.
Great addition, and you're just right at the end, so
Perfect.
perfect.
Well, thank you
No,
very
it's kind of
much.
quick and sweet, but that's
Yeah.
how it's going to be tonight.
Yeah,
So
no
thank
worries.
you so much,
No,
appreciate
thank you
it.
for your time.
So we're
Thank
gonna-
you.
Yeah.
You appreciate you taking the effort to apply for this.
You bet.
Sure.
And for our audience, we'll have a couple minutes in between each one so we can make sure we sanitize the station and everything. So I'll be right back. Yes, Councilmember Langford.
Yes, Mayor. When you put up the clock, Okay, this is
Yes.
when you put up the clock, you block the view of the speaker.
Uh-oh.
I think
Todd,
you can
help us
manage
with
that on your client side. If your right mouse on a target Odin, choose pin video. That does something convenient on the client side. So
Or is everybody going to be using the same spot?
Yeah, we have one station set up for each of the candidates, and we're sanitizing it.
Question, Madam Mayor, the list,
Yes.
order of the candidates, is that
Yes, sir.
available?
There was one on the, let me see if somebody can shoot it off to you guys real quick. I'll tell you who the next one is. Thomas James Minkler is next.
Okay.
And then after that, since we're waiting for some things to go on here, after that is Gary Green.
I emailed it.
Oh, did you? Okay, Ann has sent the list to your emails if you don't have it.
Thanks.
Take your quick. All right. Next. Councilmember Langford, are you good on your view yet?
No, they just put up the 5-minute screen.
Okay, so if you go, hey, Dan, you can probably better at walking through this than I am.
Okay, I see
Um,
where his name is. Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Dan.
Oh, no problem. There you go. Thank you. We're ready. Oh, yes, sorry.
I was waiting for the go
Oh,
ahead.
come on in. Go around this way.
How's it going?
Good.
Are you guys okay if I take on my mask? Or-
I'm
over
far, I'm okay, we're far
Yeah,
enough away,
that's fine.
and we're sanitizing in
Absolutely.
between, so
All right.
we'll leave ours on, just to make sure. So, TJ, yes?
I go by TJ. It's on there. It's Thomas James.
Perfect.
Very good.
Common name someone can have.
Okay,
Welcome.
so, welcome. We're just basically taking statements from each candidate tonight, so you got 5 minutes to tell us what you'd like to tell us. We appreciate you taking your time to come in and filling out the application, and excited to hear from you.
And this will be a bit unique and
Okay.
quicker than 5 minutes. So I had a bit of a revelation when I was doing my research on the other candidates who were applying and some of the council members that are currently acting. And like any good salesperson, I was going to introduce myself via email and just say thank you for the opportunity in advance. Now, as I was looking at some of the other applicants, I saw a good friend of mine, Sharon Carvo, who is also running. And after having a conversation with her, I actually would like to withdraw my name from the
Oh my
running
gosh.
and fully endorse Sharon moving forward.
Very good.
I don't
That's
know, and I wasn't gonna
unexpected.
email, and I was like, it was so late in the day, I was like, I'll just come and say my piece, and because I really would like to get more involved, and I think this is a great opportunity to do so. I've been in outside sales for since college for almost 20 years now, and although I have some experience with policy and that I'm the director of the Inland Northwest Soccer Association,
Oh, okay.
so we have bylaws and we have all
Absolutely.
that stuff that goes along with that. And I was shocked when I first got involved. I was like, we're playing soccer, right? Like, but, I mean, just like any nonprofit organization, we have to follow a lot of procedures and rules. And so I got familiar with that process and really enjoyed it. And how can we make this efficient and, do what we have to do legally, but also let's advance and move forward. So I can see this being a great opportunity, but with that said, I would like to endorse Sharon because I think she would be perfect for the job. And but that's not to say that I won't be here in the future.
Oh, we look forward to having everybody who's applied stay involved, because we always like to see that.
Yeah, I really appreciate you taking the effort to apply though.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
good,
and-
James.
and coming
I
in.
will be back. It may not be this November, but it will be another November. And I'm finishing my master's with the Gonzaga in organizational leadership, so I still have about a year left with that. So that'll give me some more ammunition to come even better.
Well, you're always welcome to tune into the meetings, especially since they're Zoom, it's a lot easier to attend. And
When they were virtual, when they were live still, I attended a few.
Oh, great.
So it's interesting how we engage and interact as a community, and I definitely have some ideas that I think that could draw us closer together. And my campaign was going to kind of be meet your neighbor. So I feel like there should be more of that. And,
Super.
I live on Simpson, just a half mile away from here. And, we have, I've been there for 6 years, and I've organized a block party every year since I've
Great.
been there. There's so many people in and out and renters, and so it's just nice to get to know your neighbors.
Yeah.
If you have any suggestions or ideas or issues, you just go knock on the door and have
Yeah.
a conversation with them.
Excellent.
I think there should be more of that in our
Super. That sounds great. Well, there's always the opportunity to get involved, planning commission, other commissions. So in the
Yeah.
meantime, just keep your eye out, and look forward to seeing you.
Great.
Thanks
Thank you
again.
for the
Thank
opportunity.
you so
I
much.
appreciate
It's gonna be a tough decision for you guys, so
It is.
best of
It is.
luck.
Okay.
Thank
Once
you
again,
so much.
thank you.
Okay. All right, so I'll give another quick break. Does anybody from the council need anything while we're working on our next candidate?
Can all the council see the applicants?
All right.
Two people have not shown.
Oh, okay.
That is Kimball Bighorse.
Okay, let me make a note. Hold on. He is after Gary. Okay.
And then Jamie Free.
Oh. She's last. She may be stuck at work.
Yeah, Jamie, yeah.
But she's not here.
Okay, great. We'll make a note.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
Great.
Okay, so our next candidate will be Gary Green as soon as we're done cleaning up here.
Mayor,
Miss
thank you
Cleanup.
for that.
Doing wonderful. You're just doing a wonderful job. You
Thanks,
missed,
Dave.
you missed your calling.
I'll let Gary know
Think
you guys
about
are
it.
ready.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Yes, go ahead, Councilor Sawyer.
Yeah, the list that Ann sent out doesn't seem to be correct.
It says Tiffany Humph.
Oh, did I?
That's okay.
That's fine.
Let's see. Yeah, we have the list that I've got. Hi, Gary. We'll go around this way.
Hey, Gary.
Yeah.
I see some familiar eyes.
Yeah, we've got Gary. Tiffany is two people down the line here. Have a seat. Good to see you, Gary.
Good to see you.
All right. So thank you for putting in your application. It's up to you. We're just going to stay back here with ours on. I know they're a little stifling sometimes. So we're just taking statements from everybody tonight. So you've got, about 5 minutes to let us know what you're about, why you're interested, and whatever else you want to tell us about yourself.
So instead of you being on the spot, I'm on the spot.
You are.
Right, Gary. Welcome.
Well, I kind of anticipated this, and so I don't have anything special prepared, but I can give you a rundown while I'm here. Years ago, and back in my wasted youth, my wife and I left Dallas. We both had kind of grown up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, me in Fort Worth and her in Dallas. And we got married, and we lived there for several years before we left. But I had become involved in public administration at Love Field in Dallas. I went to work for the city of Dallas and spent 9 years there. And we decided to leave, and I probably took a downgrade career-wise, but it wasn't to me personally. We moved from there to Missoula, Montana. It's quite a culture shock, as you can imagine, but we really loved Missoula. And about once a month, we'd take a drive over to Spokane and look around and see the big city. So we decided right then, before we even left Missoula, that we would move back to this part of the world if we were lucky enough to retire. And so ultimately we were lucky enough to retire and got a pretty good retirement from the city of Colorado Springs. I worked there for 15 years to the day and retired, and we moved up here and we've been here ever since. I think we've been here 12 years. I told them 11 in there, but I think it's 12. In any case, we love it here. Don't plan on going anywhere. And I got involved on the planning commission, for about 6 years, I think. And got off the planning commission. I've been kind of footloose since then. I've done a few things, just personal things, but decided when I saw the announcement about this position being open that I'd try it out. I didn't think anybody else would be interested. I thought they'd just.
So I guess we don't paint a good picture of what we do then.
Surprise, surprise.
So, in any case, I wanted to try it, and I think I'll like it. I could get a good chance to serve the community and do something I'm more or less familiar with.
Mhm.
After spending 30 plus years in public administration.
Yeah.
It's like anything, any other kind of career, I guess. You get used to it and you sort of miss it, and I do miss it. So I think I have the background, the skills necessary to maybe be effective as a council member. I believe in teamwork and being a team player, and that's what I would do here if given this opportunity, and would sure like to give it a try. Anything special about my background that you'd be interested in?
Well, we're not set up to ask questions tonight, but if whatever, you've got a little over a minute left if you'd like to expand on anything.
Well, I used to say I like to fish. People say, what do you do? I like to fish. And one day I woke up and realized I hadn't been fishing in about 15 years. So I had to stop saying that. The reason I stopped fishing is because when you catch them, you got to do something with them. I didn't like that part, so I'm not a fisherman. And I understand Liberty Lake doesn't have that many fish in it anyway. But I have, I guess my biggest hobby would be flying. I love airplanes, I like being around airplanes. And I wish Liberty Lake had an airport, but
oh boy,
they don't develop the only area over there where we could put one. So I think the chances of there being an airport here are pretty slim.
probably.
I'll have to be content to drive over to Phillipsville or else over to Coeur d'Alene, But if I'm lucky enough, I might even buy an airplane one of these days. But many years ago, I was in the aircraft business for a couple of years, and I found out then that buying an airplane is the easy part.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
It's keeping it.
Very true.
That's the problem. So,
Well, Gary, I do have to say we are out of time, but we really appreciate you taking the effort to come in and get your application in, and good luck.
well,
Thanks, Sharon.
Thank you so much. Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
All right, just to verify, our next candidate is Kimball Big Horse, but as of last check, he was not here. We will give it a check and see if he has shown.
Put them all to the side for now.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
Okay. Let's see, here comes
Okay.
Anna White.
Great. Madam Mayor. Madam Mayor.
She left the room for a moment. See if our next applicant was here or not. Should be back in a moment.
Mike, maybe you know the
Yes,
answer,
sir.
or maybe it's a question. Don, is it okay that we allow people some grace if they weren't able to make it on time, but if they show up later in the meeting, can we still allow them to interview?
Yes, absolutely. My assumption is that's correct. Right now, the gentleman who was scheduled to be here isn't here yet, so we'll probably put that to the end.
I hope we can do that, yeah. I just want to make sure it's
Yes,
okay.
absolutely. I think that's only, I think that's only fair.
Yeah, me too.
Thanks for bringing that up, Hugh.
Thank you.
Vanna White has done a wonderful job of purifying the room.
Okay, everybody, we are going to skip to Tiffany Hance, make sure I say that right, because candidate number 4 did not arrive. We're going to put you down here in front of the computer.
The head of the class.
Nice to
Yes.
meet you, Tiffany.
Hello, nice to meet all of you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So we're gonna,
gonna take this off.
Yeah,
You don't mind?
no, not at all. Makes it easier to hear you as well,
Oh,
so.
Thank you for taking some time with me today.
Well, thanks
My
for
pleasure.
coming. So you've got 5 minutes to kind of tell us about yourself, and, you know, this is your time. We're not set up to ask any questions, so you have the whole 5 minutes.
Oh, wonderful. Well, nice to meet you. You have in front of you, my name's Dr. Tiffany Hans. I'm an internal medicine physician, board certified. I have been working as a supervisory clinical lead physician for Team Health for quite some time. You probably wonder what that is. And that means that I oversee medical nursing homes, and I'm a medical director for those nursing homes, actually 7 of them right now, but I also oversee other medical directors and advanced practice clinicians in this role for Team Health and anyone we contract with. So it is rewarding and fantastic work. I love it, and I'm engaged to it. I think in the middle of this horrible pandemic where everybody's locked up and kept inside, I think that we are doing fantastic and wonderful work, keeping these elderly and frail and sometimes quite vulnerable people safe, getting them vaccinated. And we've lost some, but we have really done a fantastic job taking care of them. So it's rewarding work, and I can't tell you how much it's wonderful. But I think in looking at my best job, it's probably being a mom and a wife to my fantastic family that I moved here about a year and a half to Liberty Lake. Yeah, good save, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking that I better talk about him. So I have a wonderful husband named Michael. We've been married 19 years. He works for Multicare, and he oversees the whole Multicare system supply chain. So he's a busy guy. And then I have 2 beautiful kids, Bannon, who is at Green Acres Middle School as a 6th grader, and Cole, who's at Liberty Lake Elementary as a 3rd grader. And so they're pretty cool, really loud, only have 1 octave, and it is loud pretty much all the time. So we have a lot of fun. We moved here, as I said, about a year and a half ago, but we were North Spokaners for about 17 years.
Oh, so you know your way around.
Not new to the area, I'm new to Liberty Lake. So why would I want to do government, I guess, huh? That's probably what you're asking me, like, where did that come from? And, you know, I thought about government for a long time. I guess I'd never really had the role or opportunity. And, you know, I think I saw this four weeks ago in the little Liberty Lake splash. And I said, you know, that might be my opportunity. I really do want to engage with my community. I think this is a great way for me to advocate for the community and build myself into this fabric. And that is my job. I'm an advocate. I advocate for my family every day. I advocate for other doctors in my medical staff role at Providence. Largely that's through policy and bylaw creation. I advocate through my credentialing of them, and then I advocate for these patients, of course, every day through subjective, objective measures, and you know, keeping them safe every day, and that is big work. So I think the community piece, you know, when I look at the city council, I don't know if you've had a lot of healthcare members, but I feel that that would be something I could definitely contribute. In terms of policy creation and infrastructure, those are things that I get to learn, but I don't have huge agenda or platform that I want to tell you all about today. I mean, that's not something I came here with. I actually love Liberty Lake. I don't have a lot of criticism for you. I think it's fantastic. I have, you know, this fantastic, amazing, there's a reason I came here and I'm so happy. I think we should have moved actually a long time ago, but we're blissfully happy with the resources, the lake, the community, the infrastructure, the Central Valley School District. I couldn't be happier with all the teachers. And I want to continue to see it to grow, but I want to see it grow in a safe and effective way. And I feel like maybe that would be a way I could help you all contribute and get to know you better. Right. So those are the things here I feel I can help with.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're counting down a little over half a minute. Is there anything else you want to add?
Oh, you know, these were insecure times, and so I think that maybe could be added to my own personal reasons for wanting to get into the community and into this role. I think anytime you feel really insecure about something, or you feel like things are getting polarized, or you feel like things are maybe running away from you, to me, if I can grab more knowledge about a subject, and if I can help things become more transparent to myself and help others, I feel like it really is an improvement. I really do think that others feel the same things I feel.
I would definitely agree with that. Yeah. All right. Well, I know it feels kind of rushed, but everybody's in the same boat, so I really appreciate you taking your time. And
5 minutes of things.
Tiffany, thank you for applying.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
For having
Thank you very
me. It was wonderful to meet you all.
Thank you.
Well, hopefully we're able to see each other without masks at some point.
I know, and hopefully again, I really do appreciate your time.
Thanks,
you.
Tiffany.
Thanks very much. Okay. All right, next little break, everybody, and Holly Woodruff is up next.
I'll let Holly know.
Oh, thank you. All right, is everybody able to hear pretty well? I know we've, some of them are sitting kind of far back from the speaker. Everybody good? Okay.
Yeah, it's been great so
Quick
far.
break here. Great. Hello, Tate. How much they're really punching, but you never know.
You're doing a wonderful job.
Thank you.
I can see that next to your resume.
Right. Professional COVID cleaner.
Professional disinfectant. Thank you.
Thanks, Tate, appreciate it. Holly, what else?
Moving through quite well.
Here we are. Hello, Holly Woodruff. Hello. Come on in, we're gonna put you down at the end here.
Get the head of the table there, super lady.
And we've made sure we disinfect so if it's more comfortable for you to take the mask off. That's your decision.
Probably to be able to understand me better.
Okay.
I'd be less likely to cough.
And we're quite a ways away from you. So, welcome. Good to see you again. And so you've got basically 5 minutes to, the floor is all yours. We're not asking any questions tonight, so just tell us what you'd like to tell us and
All right.
go from there.
I'm ready to be efficient.
Great,
Very good.
thanks.
Okay. Well, hello, everyone, and thank you for this opportunity to tell you why I want to be a member of the Liberty Lake City Council. To me, this is a logical progression that began when I moved to Liberty Lake in July of 2017. It didn't take me long to attend my first city council meeting. I didn't speak at that meeting, but I did speak about property taxes at the next meeting I attended. At that meeting, my wife and I were invited to attend a Friends of the Library meeting. Before we knew it, we were members of the Friends. I became the webmaster for the Friends webpage, the Facebook page administrator, and took on the monthly silent book auction at the library. I had been a member of the Friends for all of 2 months and a resident of Liberty Lake for 7. I continued to attend council meetings and spoke again regarding the appointment process for inspections. After I spoke at council, Planning Director Lisa Key called me to let me know that the process had been changed. I was impressed by the way council, the mayor, and city staff listened and responded to city residents when they brought issues to council. This was very different from my experience with city council in Richmond, Indiana, where I lived for 31 years before moving here to be close to grandkids. That summer of 2018, I started to think about running for council. I talked to council members here in this room to get some firsthand knowledge of what it's like to be a council member. I knew then that I would run for council someday. By 2019, I was president of the Friends and a regular speaker at city council meetings to keep council and residents aware of Friends activities and to give many thank yous to the community for their support. I also applied to be a member of the Salary Commission and was appointed for a 2-year term that just ended. I enjoyed the Salary Commission process, learned a lot about the city's past, its workings, and especially its budget. I served 2 terms on the Budget Committee at Earlham College in Richmond, developing the annual operating budget of $40 to $50 million. So I love dealing with budgets. I continued to talk to council members about their experiences of being on council. I filed with the PDC to run for council in the spring of 2019. All the seats were competitive, and I did my best to get the word out about my candidacy. I waved signs in all kinds of weather. I knocked on 1,000 doors. I did every interview I could, and I answered every question from the Liberty Lake Gazette. I talked with residents about their concerns. While I wasn't elected, I was proud of the campaign and I was humbled by the support I received from the community. I learned a lot and I had a lot of fun. Then came Winter Glow. I was excited after hearing Rich's presentation at a Parks and Arts Commission meeting and supported Winter Glow when it was presented to City Council. I thought then and think now that this is money well spent. I became a volunteer lead for the first Winter Glow in 2019, and I was there every day for setup and teardown. Wasn't able to help as much with Winter Glow in 2020 due to family obligations, but I was there when I could be. I admit I wasn't good about Zooming into council meetings when the pandemic shutdown hit in 2020. I spent a lot of time with my online social work classes, and I wasn't keen on more computer time. I did keep up with the minutes. So here we are in 2021. Not a lot has changed with the pandemic, but we have hope. The Friends just completed the most successful Valentine basket auction ever, and I'm going to take some credit for that. I told the Friends we would have an auction and I would figure out how to do it online. They were supportive and donated some great baskets. So then I had to figure out how to make the auction happen. I found the Galabid site and the rest is history. I know I'd be a good city council member. As a social worker, I know how to listen. I know how to look at the big picture. We're all about person and environment, and that can apply to macro practice like city government. I'll share my opinions, and I'm open to listening to others. I'm willing to change my mind when presented with logic and evidence for doing so. However, I'm firm in my core beliefs, which mirror the values of social work, the inherent worth and dignity of every human being, social justice, and human rights for all. I'm still a licensed clinical social worker, and as such, I follow the NASW Code of Ethics, the most thorough professional code of ethics in the human services profession. I know how to problem solve. It's the basis for all social work practice. I'm a lifelong learner. I want to help our city become the best it can be and serve our community. So there you have some of my journey to this place of wanting to be on city council. No matter what, I'll continue to serve this community that I love. Thank you.
Great. Well put together and well timed.
Practice makes perfect.
Love it. All right. Well, we appreciate your time, Holly, as
Thank you
usual,
for your time.
and good luck in the rest of the process.
Thank you.
And thank you for taking the initiative to apply. It's very rewarding to see how many individuals we have come forward with this. It really, really is.
Yeah, it really is great people. We've been out there talking and just getting to know one another. So I think you got some good candidates.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Holly.
Thanks, Holly. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a good rest of your evening.
Thanks.
Okay.
Melanie Thomason. I think that's the list. They'll send her in.
We kind of know who's next.
Okay. For the council's sake, Melanie Thomason is next. We're doing great. Thanks, Tate.
I'm back.
Let's hear it for Vanna. Well, by an E. Just before leaving the house, Betty was able to get us booked in for our second shots tomorrow.
Oh, yay. Yeah, Mom and Dad got booted last week because of the supply, because of the weather. I'm taking them on Thursday.
Oh, that's great.
My grandma gets her very last one on the 9th.
Good
And
for
my
her.
grandparents are good. So
Good.
I want them to be good. I want them to be good.
All right. Oh. Melanie Thomas.
Sherry Thomason? Or no, Melanie, I'm sorry.
Welcome. We're going to put you at the head of the table.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
You get the seat of honor there, Melanie.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. So we're basically giving you 5 minutes to tell us what you'd like. We're not set up for any questions tonight, so the 5 minutes is yours to do with it what you'd like. We're looking forward to hearing from you.
Thank you. And thank you for taking time to meet with all of us.
You're welcome. If you're comfortable, it's okay if you take your mask off. We're disinfecting, but if you want to leave it on, that's fine too. It's your choice.
I work in the medical.
There you go. That's great.
So my name is Melanie Thomason. I have a bachelor's degree in administration of justice. I work right now currently for the state of Washington. I would like to talk about different things I think make me qualified for the position. I take great
joy in becoming part of the community that I lived in. I'll talk about that a little bit. I want to make the communities better for my kids, for my family, for my neighbors, for my friends. I started out in Colorado as a real estate broker. I sold real estate there and was able to get a good picture of what it is that's important to people when they're looking at communities. So the walkabilities, the police presence, the schools, different things that are important. I then moved to Hawaii and was a social worker in the only trauma hospital on the Big Island of Hawaii. I worked in the emergency room and had to come across many stressful situations. I worked with really a various group of ethnic people in Hawaii. While I was there, I was chosen by the college to do a project in the town of Keau on the Big Island, and that was, we were looking at bringing Costco into Keau. Keau is very tiny. A lot of people that live there are off-grid. They're on catchment tanks. They don't have electricity. They operate everything off solar or generators. So it was quite a huge project. Costco didn't end up going into Keau because it wasn't feasible financially for them. I then got a job here at the state of Washington, and I was chosen by our administrator to be on a committee. The committee is over the LTSS trust program that was just voted in November. We have to look at the WACs and the RCWs for that and make sure that when we roll out in 2025 that we're rolling out in accordance with the WACs and the RCWs. I love the work that I do. I currently work in hospitals. I feel that I have a good balance of, I grew up in a household that was politically involved. I went to school with John Garamendi's kids in California, Barbara Alby's kids. I got to meet Ronald Reagan when he was president because we were friends with Herb Ellingwood, who was an aide to him. But I also work with indigent people, and with the state, I work with them in the hospitals. I was on the Governor's Surge Project to get people out of the hospitals and clear beds for COVID patients. So I feel that the experience I have dealing with that large group of people makes me qualified. Great. And thank you again for taking the time.
No, thank you. You've got a minute and a half left, if there's anything you'd like to add. I know it's kind of stressful.
I mean, I've lived in Liberty Lake for 2 years now. I love this area, and I love the things that are here, the green spaces. I love the farmers market in summer times, and I just really enjoy being part of the community here.
Well, and we are glad you're here.
Thank you.
We do appreciate it. Okay. All right.
Very good.
That's it. Well, thank you very much for coming and spending your time with us, and just the fact that, we've had so many applicants has been fantastic.
Yeah.
That's a good sign.
It is, I hope.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's excellent to have the quality of
Thank
the
you.
applicants we have. I really appreciate you, Melanie, you taking the time to apply.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You guys
Appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
All right. Next coming in will be Lauren Horton. That would be able to put it. Make sure you put a lot of lotion on your hands. Okay.
Yeah, really.
Oh, Lauren. Thank you.
When you were out, Hugh asked if somebody is late, you'll still be able to have an interview. And I said, yeah, we would like to put them at the end of the meeting.
Yeah, that's up to you guys. Yeah, I would, that's, you know, we don't know what may have held somebody up.
I would hope that the answer is yes.
All right. Hi, Lauren, nice to meet you. We're gonna put you down at the
Welcome.
end here.
Okay. I'm gonna drop this right
You have
here.
a- You get the lead chair tonight.
Thanks, that makes me feel important.
You are.
Tonight, you're very important.
Thank you.
And we're leaving it up to the candidates whether or not you leave your mask on or take it off. We are sanitizing between each candidate,
Okay.
so it's up to you, whatever makes you comfortable.
I will just leave it on.
Okay, sounds
Okay,
good.
very good.
All right, so
Welcome.
we are here for you tonight, so you have 5 minutes to kind of tell us what you'd like to tell us with regards to the position and whatever else you think is pertinent.
Okay, great. My name is Lauren. As you know, I grew up in the Coeur d'Alene, Spokane area, so I have lived here most of my life. I went to Boise State University and got my bachelor's degree there. And then shortly after college, I relocated to Seattle and started my career there. And then when I decided to begin a family, I wanted to come back here and specifically moved to Liberty Lake because it's just a beautiful place to live and I feel very safe here and welcome, and I think it's a wonderful place to raise a family. So that's a little bit about my personal history here. In my professional career, I have worked in commercial construction for the last 6 years. I have experience with estimating and putting together construction bid documents, reviewing proposals and responding to RFIs. Now I work as a project manager, so I'm responsible for the time, scope, and budget. And our commercial projects, our scope is usually averages around 200,000, but we work on projects that have millions of dollars worth of overall budget.
Right.
So if your scope of the project is held up for whatever reason, obviously it has big implications. So I feel that experience for over the last 6 years directly translates to city council and working in a legislative body and bringing forth that knowledge, and that's what I have to offer there. As far as why I want to get involved in city council, my interest in government has grown in my adult life, but exponentially grown over the course of the pandemic. And I've seen so many families and communities locally and then of course across the nation suffering, and I have found this deep sense of wanting to do something about it. And everybody, the saying is change starts at the local level, right? And so when I saw the position open for seat 7 and that you guys were taking applications, I thought that was a perfect chance to, dive right in. And everybody has to start somewhere.
Absolutely.
So, that's what I just want to help people. I'm a young mother. I have a 3.5-year-old little boy. He's not in, the public school system yet, but he goes to the Liberty Lake Children's Academy, and I think the families here are wonderful. Throughout the pandemic, my spouse and I, we reached out to our neighbors, and we left notes on their doorstep and said, if you need help, please call us. And we actually befriended an elderly widow, and we've been helping her with projects around her house and run errands for her. Next on the list, I think, is a Ring doorbell installation. So it's just been really rewarding to kind of start that outreach and just really experience how many people are suffering and experience a connection too. I think that the pandemic has created a sense of isolation because obviously you have to stay away from people. And in turn, it's taught me that so many people want that connection and they need the help. And so that's why I'm here today, is I feel like it's my civic duty to
you know, start volunteering and give back to my community and be a voice for our families that live here and the 10,000 residents that call Liberty Lake home.
Excellent.
So
Great.
that's all I have. That's my spiel. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Well, we're not doing any questions tonight, because we need to make sure we ask everybody the same thing, so that'll be part of the next stage, but you've got a little over 30 seconds if there's anything else you want to add. If not, we can wrap up.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Okay.
No, we really
Doris,
appreciate
thank
your
you.
time and
Yeah, thank you so much.
taking your time to apply and taking your time to come in
Thanks.
tonight.
And you're Chris, right?
Yes, I am.
And what was your
I'm
name?
Mike Kennedy.
Mike Kennedy?
Kennedy.
Kennedy.
Yes.
And Todd Anderson. Nice to meet you guys. I appreciate the opportunity.
No,
We
well, thanks for
appreciate,
coming
we
in.
appreciate you applying.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
That's our phone right here.
All right.
Okay, next on our list, Mike, you've got the list. Who's next on our list?
There you
Oh,
go.
there we go. Janice Crow. Looks like Jan, she must go by.
Right along.
Yeah, it's moving pretty fast.
Very pleased.
Just want you to know, I so badly want to say you missed the spot, but that wouldn't be very nice.
Come on, Phil.
Here.
You know,
I don't know what tape has what looks like to be the most, we're finishing up sanitizing. You've got what looks like to be the most comfortable shoes on.
They definitely are. I definitely was not going to put on heels tonight.
All right, we can bring Jan in, I guess.
I'll go grab her. You're pretty cool. Oh,
Phil, it's great, it's good that you're keeping an eye on her.
thank you.
Come on in, we're gonna put you at the head of the table.
Oh.
So you go by Jan?
Yeah, yeah.
Welcome.
Jen.
When I was in grammar school, Janice and Janet were very popular names. So in my classroom, there were actually 4 Janices.
Oh,
So
gosh.
I became Gallagher, my maiden name. Then when I got to be a big girl, I chose my real name.
There you go. Well, Janice, thanks for coming in, and you've got 5 minutes to tell us what you'd like to tell us about yourself and why you're here. So the floor is yours for the next 5 minutes.
Okay, I'm Jan Crow, and I've been involved in the Liberty Lake area since there was SIGs and the mail, post office, and a little 7-Eleven, some kind of store. There was no Albertsons, there was nothing. We bought land at 620 Lakeside, and built our dream house. We were at that time, we were in our, I'm gonna say 45-ish, middle of our careers, having a wonderful time, and felt that that was something that was important at that time in your life. I think we have these sections of life that go on. You know, you start out young married, you have your kids, you work at your jobs, you do really well. If you're people that are driven, then you buy a house, then you decide, oh, what do we really want? Now we're retired, yeah. I've owned a business. I owned the first insurance agency in the state of Washington, owned by a woman, businesswoman. Small business, but I grew it enough to, when I sold it, I did rather well and merged with a very large company. I have always mentored people. I've done, as you can tell from my bio and my background, I've always been involved in helping others grow. I think it's something that is innate inside me. I like change because, not for the sense that, not for just change, but because that's how we keep moving forward and make it better for the next generation. Change also makes people excited about being in the community. I remember the them versus us when the sewer came into Liberty Lake. It was a very big deal. I mean, really big deal. And we had some good leadership then. And to see our lovely town grow. Now we're on Aladdin Road. We sold the place on Lakeside. We moved into a condo for a while.
Bill worked at Avista for 32 years. He started as a lineman, first lineman they had ever hired out of California or anywhere outside the company. And he became the electric division manager. I only have a high school education. I wasn't from a family that allowed me to go to college. It wasn't even discussed in my house. But I was very active in sports and was the second best javelin thrower in the United States at the age of 17 until I fell in love and preferred to have a boyfriend rather than a husband rather than go to the 64 Olympics.
Wow.
So I've done many things in my life that I'm very proud of. Some of the things that we do in life you wish you could take back and do over as you mature. I will tell you that I think my most satisfying work has been in the nonprofit field. I don't think Liberty Lake has anything wrong with it. I don't think I'm here to make a change or to make it different. What I love is what's happened all along since I've lived here, all along how it's grown. And that only happens when you have a team that's willing to be open and to discuss things easily. My last job was as the vice president of Riverbank, first community bank in the state of Washington in 100 years, and I was in the inaugural group. There were 7 of us that started it. And I did all their public service, worked with the councils, worked with the things like that. So I want to join the council to be a continuing part of growth. Looking forward while looking backwards, because I think we learn from the past. You know, you look at a couple of things, nobody thought it would grow this big.
Mm-hmm.
We never did, honestly, none of us did. And now we have to go and fix the little overpass because it's not big enough and things like that. I think we have an amazing fire and police department. We had, we were the first road on the north side of Mission to have houses built. And we had a drug problem at one of those houses, a really bad drug problem. We worked with the police department and the city council, and laws were passed so we could go into that home area. And there were families living next door that had needles everywhere.
Yep.
So I know what you guys do, and I commend what you're doing.
Great, well, we appreciate it. And unfortunately, our time is up.
I know.
I think I could sit and listen to all your
Absolutely.
firsts forever.
Yeah.
So very nice. All right, so we do appreciate you coming in and taking your time and hearing all about you, which is great. And the night's going fast, faster than we expected.
And if there's the next stage, will you have opportunity to ask us questions?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yeah, this is the first time we've had this many applicants, so the process had to change a little bit.
Oh, that is amazing.
Yeah.
I
That's
said
exciting.
that when I walked in, because I've known you when there was one person.
Yep.
That's right, yeah.
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 So,
Thank you, Jan.
Thank you very much,
all.
Jan. It's nice to meet you.
It's my pleasure.
Appreciate you taking the effort to apply. It's very-
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
I was excited about the opportunity.
All right, next I think we have Sharon Carvo coming in. Hello. I'm going to sneak this.
Todd, you want something, Munchie? Oh, I'm good.
We have Sharon back? Oh, yeah, Sharon.
Remember, everybody's keeping an eye on you to make sure you do your job well.
Do it quickly. She's gonna get us all of you back for this.
But she will. We have
I
witnesses.
control the front desk. See all of us coming, she's gonna hit the lock button on the front door.
Turn it off.
All right. All
I was
right.
like, no, I'm not next. I'm at 7:45.
We're running a little ahead. We're gonna direct you that way,
Over
Sharon.
here. Okay.
And,
Welcome, Sharon.
and a couple people we haven't had a chance to
Thank
catch at the beginning, but it's up to you if you leave your mask on or take it off. We're sanitizing between all the candidates. It's strictly your
yes,
choice.
I can feel that. Thank you. Very sweet. Okay, I will remove so you can see my face.
Okay.
Okay.
And so the next 5 minutes are yours to tell us what you'd like. We're not asking any questions tonight. That will come in the next stage. So 5 minutes is yours.
All right. Well, thank you, Madam Mayor and Pro Tem Kennedy, and everyone else on City Council here this evening. My name is Sharon Carvo, and I have been a resident of Liberty Lake for 10 years this month. I moved over from the west side. I recently, last year before COVID hit, finished my master's in elementary education. And since then, I haven't really been able to teach very much, but I've been home, but it has allowed me to become more involved in our community through being involved with the schools, Liberty Creek and Liberty Lake, and through being on the board of the municipal library. I've been on there for a couple of years. I just absolutely love Liberty Lake. Kind of a small backstory. I went to college at WSU, and my boyfriend, now husband, at the time his family lived on the lake, and we visited here when I was in college, and I said, this is where we are going to live. Like I didn't tell him because that would be weird, but but I said, I love Liberty Lake, and when we get married, this is where we will move and where we will raise a family. And we ended up doing that because this is an absolutely amazing city. The community is wonderful. Everyone supports each other. The city council throughout the years has done a fantastic job in creating policies to create such a safe environment for families to feel like, you know, you can let your kids outside and play, and you can feel proud of your city and the beauty and the fact that everyone cares about each other. I would love to be a part of that. As a teacher, I focus very much on caring and compassion, and while that's not always in policy making as a city council member would do, you can interlay that in there also through educating the public in not creating such a diverse, this policy is great, this is not, but educating them in why maybe a policy that is made can help everybody. I think part of what's happened in the last couple years through federal policy as well as COVID has really created a negative atmosphere, allowing people to, causing just a great divide between our community. And I think that's something that we can all work on. Again, policy making, not so much a part of unifying people, but I think as a city council together, we can all be cohesive in creating a better atmosphere for our community. I know through friends and other community members I've spoken to, they think that city council has done a wonderful job, and I agree so as well. I would love to be a part of that, and I would love to work with city council and be on the council just to help create a better community. I'd love to be an advocate for our diverse community. I mean, we have such a changing demographic these days. We have small families, big families, we have the older generation, we have very young kids, we have college kids from Gonzaga, WSU coming in and out. So I think it would be great to just really incorporate policies, rules, and activities, even though we aren't really part of that, but just show that we really care about our community and not just one specific demographic, show that we really care about everybody. I would love to see our community grow more. I know a lot of people are saying, hey, don't let those businesses come in, we want to stay small, but part of a city is growing. Most important part of that is having infrastructure to support that, having safety to support that as well, fire, police, and as a council member, I would love to be part of that and helping our city grow, helping our community feel safe, helping our community feel that we are one big, Liberty Lake together is our saying, and I would like to continue that. And so that is me in a nutshell, I guess.
Okay.
Any questions for me?
None
Are you
tonight,
allowed?
no questions tonight. But if you've got 25 seconds, if there's something you can anticipate that we'll ask, if you could answer it real quick.
I am very invested in this community. I have 3 children, and we plan on being here forever. So I really just want this to be the best community possible for everybody, and everyone feels supported in living here.
Sounds great.
Thanks,
Thank you
Sharon.
for your 5 minutes, Sharon.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
I've been talking for 5 minutes about myself.
It's hard sometimes.
That's it.
I
Thank you
recognize
so
that.
much.
Thank
Have
you.
a wonderful evening.
We appreciate
It's good to see you.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you coming forward.
Oh,
Sharon,
thank
it's
you
great.
very much, Mike. It was
All
good
right.
to see you.
Bye-bye.
All right, next is DG Garcia. What?
No Jamie yet.
No Jamie yet? Okay, is DG here? I think I thought I saw her. Okay, she's next.
I don't know technically unless they got the.
Check, please.
No.
Here? Do I have in here?
Yeah, we're gonna finish sanitizing first.
Oh, please.
She was maybe trying to show up later. I've not seen her.
Has Ann checked her email by any chance?
I'll go check and see. I
Yeah.
don't see her in there just. in case.
Okay.
Has that other gentleman come in here?
No, doesn't sound like it yet.
Big horse?
Kimball?
Not yet.
No, he's not showing up
Okay.
either.
Okay. Yeah, let us know on Jamie if there's any email or anything.
He'd be there running a little bit.
Yep.
All
All right.
I look at this, if you don't make it, that's it.
Yep. Okay, next up,
Gotta be fair.
DG.
On our way. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
We're gonna put you at the end of the table, ma'am.
Okay.
You get the share of distinction.
Well, thank you both. I appreciate it. I'm humbled. How are you, sir? Good.
So we are leaving it up to the candidates. We have, of course, sanitized it. If you want to take your mask off or leave it on, it's up to you. So we'll leave ours on.
Okay, and do you mind? Oh, that would be wonderful. I will take mine off. then.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah.
Um,
Your pleasure.
Awesome. It's got to be easier to speak that way.
Yeah.
And we all can hear us.
Yep. So the next 5 minutes is totally yours. Tell us about yourself or whatever you'd like to tell us. So council's on the other end and so is the rest of the public, so.
Hello, council, mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members, staff, citizens, and everyone in between who has come to hear my interview. I'm honored. As many of you know, I have lived in the region for 5 years, a bit over 5 years. And I'm an activist advocate for the people's voice. What's important to me is what's important to all of us and how we navigate our world. Local government has the most important part in a person's life in any community because it's the local government that ensures our security, our safety, our comfort, and all those things in between. Our infrastructure is important, our schools are important, but who moves those mountains? Who makes that happen? And that's what our local government, that's what all of you do. I want to be a part of the decision-making. I want to be a part of how policies are addressed and how people are included. I want to give whatever I have as talents and contributions, whatever I have as my experience and education, I want to lend that to the public because we all have something to add. What is important is that we all add it, even if it comes through someone else's voice. I speak several languages. I am a sign linguist and a Braille transcriber, and many people don't know that, and that's not important. But for me, it just simply says that I want to reach people. I want to be involved in their lives, and I want them to be involved in my life. I have contributed from the inside in doing things that help promote what the city wants, i.e. bringing resolutions and ordinances to your attention. Now you are part of the consortium for the National Flood Insurance Program, which I am honored to have participated in bringing that to fruition, where now we have a peace of mind
in case we have a catastrophic water event. You know, we could look like Texas one of these days, but the city government is working hard. And I don't want to be a subset of how hard you're working. I'm already doing that from behind the scenes. I want to be a part of that. I want to be on the front lines. I want to continue your vision. I want to continue to add to your conversation on infrastructure, schools, on your business partnering, how you bring farm to table, technology, resources, retail, the different cultures that are coming, the different understandings of our abilities and our traditions and values that we hold dear. I enjoy what I do as an advocate activist, but I can tell you this, there's nothing more rewarding than being a part of the foundation that you have all, as council members and mayors, brought to the table. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. If I am accepted, I'm trying to join on to the drivers of that and drive the foundation to a place where we are sustainable financially, where our business model is sustainable, and where our community is flourishing and thrives. I know that each one of you are depending on whomever takes this seat to know a lot, but you're also understanding that that person will learn a lot. And it is that person's ability to learn, to be open, to be a blank slate when necessary, that enhances what you will all do. As you look at me as a steward for the community, I look at you as the reason why I want to join your team. Because you're already bringing the voices to the table. You're already committed. You're already in the trenches. I want to be a part of that. And in order to do it, I need to now get on the inside, where everything's happening, where the movers and shakers aren't moving and shaking for themselves, but for the entire community. So I ask that you take into consideration my application, my talents, my contributions, my education, and all of that matters. But at the end of the day, what matters is that we bring all the voices to the table where whatever happens in this city determines how long this city, its viable solution, remains that solution. I thank you all for your consideration and your time.
Thank you. I really appreciate your time and effort over, not just here, but over the years as well.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
so welcome. Appreciate you all. Thank you, members.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks, DG.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Chris Cargill is our next applicant.
John, you're a sir. Don't you feel good about that? There's no more pay in that. It's nice that you got a title.
All right.
I did check with Anne. She has not heard anything.
Okay.
Okay.
She's gonna just double check one more time. Since
Okay.
Jamie would be the last one to
Okay.
see, but.
Yep. Thank you.
Oh, so, you're after the last interview, that's in the back.
We got just Chris left then?
Mm-hmm. Before we go into executive session, we'll have a break.
No. All right, so just a quick recap for the council. Fourth candidate, Kimball Bighorse, has not arrived yet, and our last one, who would be after Chris Cargill, Jamie Freeze Baird, has not arrived yet either.
Is there a Douglas Morrison on the schedule tonight?
He was first.
Sorry. Okay. Thanks.
Sure.
Are we ready for Chris?
Yes. Oh, yes, Councilmember Foyer.
Yeah, Mayor, so the candidates that are coming tonight, are they going by the timeline on this sheet that was published?
Now, I don't know if what the communication was. I believe the communication was that they need to all be here at the beginning, but I'm not 100% sure. So Anne's checking her email and is trying to see what she can find out for us.
I had asked her the same thing, so if you'd like, I can bring her down. I think she may have sent that schedule.
Okay.
She and I were not sure.
Yeah, we're way ahead, so we don't want, if somebody got delayed with work, we'll keep following up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll bring Chris then.
Okay, thank you.
So we are about 40 minutes ahead of schedule.
which is not normal for us.
No, it's not. Well, that's because we're not talking.
True.
Yeah, we're gonna take that into consideration.
Correction.
Yeah.
Move for an extension now, or?
We're not hearing
Wait
anything
till-
from Kennedy. That's why we're.
Hold it, Larry, what was that?
She should be here until 10.
Okay, great.
She was having trouble with her Gmail, didn't get it.
Okay, great. All right, so we do know that Jamie Bear will be here. She was having some technology issues. So we will see her after Chris Cargill. There he is. We're gonna send you to the end of the table,
All right,
Chris.
very good.
Nice to see you.
You get the seat of distinction tonight.
All right, well, very good, thank you.
All right, so we've sanitized everything, so we're leaving it up to the candidates whether or not you want to leave your mask on or take it off. We're going to leave ours on for you. So the next 5 minutes is all yours.
All right.
And council and the rest of the public is here to listen.
Okay. It says I'm on mute, is that right?
No, we're using,
Great.
it'll be right here.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mayor, council members. It's good to see you. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I really, really appreciate it. I just want to start by thanking all of you and those online for the great work that you do in the community. I think it's often said that city council members are the most important people in terms of elected officials in our elected government. And I think part of the reason for that is because you all are called when there's a pothole to fill or there's a street light that needs fixing. So I just want to thank you for the work that you do. I also think it's just so impressive that we have 12 candidates for this position. I think that shows how wonderful the community is. So again, I'm Chris Cargill. For those watching online, I'm Chris Cargill. I've lived in Liberty Lake for 11 years now, almost 12 years. Grew up across the river over in Otis Orchards. I'm a Central Valley High School graduate, proud Central Valley High School graduate. And my family history here actually dates back to the very founding of this area. In fact, Stephen Liberty was my great uncle who married my great grandmother. So you kind of follow all the dots there. Today, my wife Lisa and I are raising our two boys here, Hudson, who is 8, and Lincoln, who is 13. And just like every other family in this community, we've been balancing work and school and virtual schooling for the past couple of months. I'm a graduate of Gonzaga University with a degree in broadcast communications and political science. And for the last 11 years, I've been the Eastern Washington director of the Washington Policy Center. So for those who don't know, Washington Policy Center is a think tank, similar to the Heritage Foundation or the Brookings Institute, only on a statewide scale. So we are in the ideas business. We produce ideas where you don't produce a product. And I think that's why I'm so excited about the opportunity to serve on the city council. During my time at WPC, I've had the opportunity to open up our Eastern Washington office here in Spokane from the ground up, essentially. I am in charge of 3 organizational budgets that total about $1 million. So, you know, we're a think tank, we're a 501c3, we're a nonprofit, just like all of you. We have to efficiently balance those budgets and make sure we're spending our donors' money wisely. I've served on many different community boards and had the opportunity to work with elected officials both at the local level and at the state level and a few at the national level as well. So I think that's critical experience. When I'm not at home or reading about new policy ideas, I'm with my family. We're going to just chilling on a Friday night on a bike ride, or I'm at the Liberty Lake Home Depot starting on another home improvement project. I think my family calls that my second home. So maybe you as well. Or I'm coaching our Liberty Lake Spokane Indians Youth Baseball 8U team, which, as our teachers know full well, if you can get a bunch of 8-year-old boys together to try to accomplish a goal, you can do pretty much anything. So all of this, my policy background, my budgeting experience, my experience in the community, I think is the reason why I'd like to serve on the Liberty Lake City Council. I think the council should be considering 3 questions when you decide who the council member is going to be. The question 1 being, who is the candidate who has the most realistic but optimistic vision for the future in the city? I also think it's who is the person who has policy and budget experience and who has those key connections to city and local and statewide leaders. And also, who is the candidate who understands the responsibilities of a council member and can hit the ground running. I'm someone who has a really bright vision for our future. I'm really excited about the Kramer overpass and the new high school. I think we really ought to concentrate on that for the next 5 years or so to really try to bring more businesses to that area. And the reason is because people will want to relocate to that area when it's built out. I'm also someone who has policy and budgeting experience, and I can't say how critical I think it is to have those connections that I talked about. Someone you can literally pick up the phone and be on a first name basis with them. I think that's really, really important. And finally, someone who can hit the ground running. I think my resume shows that I can do that. So I'm really excited about the future of our city, but perhaps I'm most excited about being able to tell my kids that we're headed in a positive governing direction. So thank you all very much. I hope to be with you tomorrow night.
Thanks. Everybody's getting better and better using their time.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your
Thank
time,
you.
Chris. We really appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Okay. All right, so it sounds like Jamie will be here shortly. So if you guys want to take a quick stretch or whatever. Yeah, take maybe a 5-minute break while we're waiting for her. Huh? That's what I heard, yeah. So she was having some technical issues getting her the emails and stuff. We're taking a quick 5-minute break.
All right, down and.
Oh, okay. Hi, Jamie. Oh, no. Well, here's my bill. We'll wipe down. Okay.
But you have to call in.
Yeah. Let me go put that, well, I'll wait for my call, put that somewhere. You should, they're having issues getting me scheduled, that's not their fault.
I don't know, maybe probably your, like, probably your personal. Yeah. Right, and that's the one I'm having. Yeah, but have some water, we'll write down in there, and then Mike and Chris, we're gonna be doing there, and 5 minutes, and everything's good. Oh, this is perfect. Yeah. Yes. Have some water, fruit, chips, granola.
So real quick,
I did not watch any of it.
I did that. I know. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll stay right at the same time, and I'll let the council, we'll let the council know when we get back in. So apparently Jamie and Kim both had issues getting the email from Ann. So Jamie's here, she did not watch the interview. Kimball can call in, because he's got kids at home. So it's not their fault that they had email issues, so I think we should accommodate it.
Okay, so we'll do Jamie, and then we'll do Kimball.
Yep.
And then you will recess the executive.
Yeah, so now, so then, do we come back after that?
Yeah, so this is how, so Chris, in executive session, you can only discuss qualifications, not the vote. If you want to come out of executive session and vote on the top tier candidate, you can do that. And then if you want to interview.
But that'll be back to the silence.
You have to go back into the number. Okay. You have to do it in a public meeting, vote in public. Then you have to, if you do that, that's why Ann is here, so I don't have to call her, nice face. But then we have a lot of work to do.
Okay.
Yep. About the executive session, I do not want to take up the meeting tomorrow. So for Kimball, should I just have him call or Zoom in or?
We'll tell him when he can.
When it,
Yeah, because we don't let him walk by when he wants to. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
I'll wait for everything, I'll check on that.
All right, we'll get the other council members back on. I just want to kind of give a quick update as to where we are when everybody's back on. So we got Annie, Hugh, and Phil. Okay. All right, great, thank you. All right, here's Annie. We'll wait for Odin to jump back on here. I'll kind of give you guys an update on what's going on. Okay, all right, so quick update, everybody. Both Kimball Bighorse and Jamie Baird, I guess there were issues getting their emails about the schedule tonight. Jamie is here, so she'll be joining us. And because of the communication issue, which I don't fault either one of them for, Kimball is able to call in. I know I've talked to Mayor Pro Tem. I think we're okay with him calling in for the meeting. I just want to make sure you guys are all okay with that. You know, the issue is not his fault at this, as far as I can see. So everybody good with him calling in after Jamie? All right, great. So Jamie will be coming in just a moment.
There's 3, 4, minus 5.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we're done with the two of them, then we will adjourn to executive session. And you guys will have their discussion, no decisions at that point, and then we'll come back out. And I guess at that time, Todd, do we dial back into the original meeting?
Yes.
Okay. And then we'll go through the process of taking the nominations to the next step.
Question, Mayor.
Yes.
So when we go into executive session and we come back, is this meeting going to stay on Zoom or is it going to?
Do we pause?
It's gonna end, and then we have to do the executive session,
Okay.
and then come back and start this.
Okay, so this meeting will end, and then we'll, after executive session, this meeting that we're all in and the public's in, will restart. So same dial-in information and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we going to give a time for the
Yes,
restart? of the public
Councilmember
meeting?
Kurt.
How will the public know that we're back?
We'll have to give a time that we estimate to be done.
Mayor.
Yes, yes.
So we need to give a
Go ahead,
specific
Sean.
time for we need to give a specific time for the executive session. If to the
Okay.
extent that at that time we need to go longer, then we'll come back and to the regular meeting, extend it for however long is necessary, and then come back. We can't start the regular meeting until we are specifically done with the executive session and start the regular meeting at that time.
Great. Okay, thank you. All right.
Yeah.
Welcome, Jamie Baird.
Thank you.
So the next 5 minutes are all yours. We're letting the candidates decide if they want to leave their masks on or not. We've sanitized, but we'll leave ours on. If it's more comfortable for you to speak, you can feel free to take it off. And so, yeah, so the next 5 minutes is all yours. We're not set up for questions tonight, so.
Sure. Well, I definitely appreciate the opportunity to not only apply, but also to let everyone know why I'm interested in being on the City Council. For approximately the last 3 years, I've been on the Planning Commission, and boy, have we learned a lot. Everything from food trucks to street trees to sign ordinances and landscaping. I feel like we've touched on almost all of it. And through that, I've been able to see more of how the different commissions work with the council. And of course, we've been in the advisory role, but it's been really an honor to be able to advise the council, and we've appreciated the feedback that we've gotten from that and in our working with the city staff. One of the primary reasons that I would be interested in joining the council is to move from an advisory role into a voting role. And I want to be able to help guide the city through the next phase as we are looking at trailhead and other big items on the agenda as we're, getting ready for more growth. And I'm anxious to help the council and, like I said, move from that advisory role to voting. I definitely feel like we're kind of poised for big things here in Liberty Lake. we're kind of coming hopefully on the tail end of a big pandemic where a lot of work's been done behind the scenes. And I really feel like this year and the next are going to be really pivotal for Liberty Lake. The only other thing I would add to that is, I've really appreciated the hands-on approach of the council. And I feel like that's one of the things that makes Liberty Lake so strong, and it makes our council so strong, is they're not just meeting behind the scenes, but they're actually engaged with the public. And I think that's so important, is having our officials who aren't afraid to interact and be seen, be heard, answer questions, even when they're kind of tough. And I think that transparency is not only what we need more of, but it needs to, it's just so important for any type of government, but especially local government. And that's really why I'm interested.
Okay. Well, I said we're not set for questions, but you got a couple more minutes if there's anything else you can anticipate we might ask. You want to address something?
Anticipation, if you were to ask me what I sort of see as the biggest thing coming down the pipe is, I think, the trailhead discussion. I think that is huge, not only because it will affect the face of our community and how we've been historically represented, but also how we can leverage Trailhead to really appeal to more of the community and get that involvement. One of the things I'm passionate about is citizen engagement and having their voices represented. And I think that's so crucial, especially to the council.
Right. All right. Well, if there's nothing else you can think of, we can.
Yep, I'm pretty short on words.
No, that's okay. No,
Fine.
Perfect.
Great.
I like to solve problems. I like to see the results of problem solving, whether it be convincing people of something or just understanding another point of view and trying to work things out through differences. I try to be dispassionate and try to see things from an objective point of view as much as possible. But really, I just kind of want to. There's a good thing going in Liberty Lake. People seem to like it a lot, and I like it a lot too. And just want to see if I can help make it better. Do my small part to participate in the community and just try to be helpful. That's kind of the extent of it, really. I mean, I just kind of have a lot of different experience, and it's probably unique to the council. But yeah, I'm kind of here I'm at your disposal, really. Whatever you think it might be useful or helpful, I'm here to help.
Okay. All right. So, Kimball, we've got a little less than a minute and a half left. If there's anything else you want to add or answer to a question that you anticipate might be asked later, you still have some time left if you'd like to take advantage of that.
Sure. Yeah. I guess maybe just like my availability is a little bit limited. I still have small children. My youngest is just a year old. So, but if I have time to plan, I can usually, be available when I need to be. So, yeah, I just, maybe some issues that I kind of care about a lot. I care about infrastructure. I care about, the road design and transportation, as well as, broadband issues. I'd love to get fiber going in the area. Seems like there's kind of only one or two players in the area. I'm big on the internet and data. I have a lot of interest in connecting jurisdictions or connecting third parties or connecting the state or federal data sources to local sources. That can be helpful. Things like that. That's kind of what I do at work too. So that's one skill that I have that to be useful. Those are kind of some things that I guess I'm interested in, if that could be helpful.
Okay.
But that's probably it.
All right. Well, you took it just down to the last couple seconds, so we appreciate that, and we really apologize for the mix-up in the communications. You're not the only one who had some issues with the email, so We really appreciate you.
No, it was my fault. Yeah, I should have given you my Gmail instead. I don't check the Yahoo as much, so it's probably mostly my fault.
Gotcha.
I do appreciate it.
But, we really
Thank you.
appreciate your flexibility kind of at the last minute. I know it kind of probably feel a little bit put on the spot. So we truly appreciate you jumping in here and putting in your application and spending some time with us this evening. And
yeah, likewise.
The council is going to be going into executive session here for about 30 minutes. So we would plan on coming back at let's say 8:25, make it a good round number, and then we'll go from there. So we appreciate your time, Kimball, and then I'm going to finish wrapping up some stuff here online. So council, don't go anywhere. I'm going to give the phone back to Katie. So I'm just going to go ahead and say goodbye. Thanks for your help. Thanks for attending. Bye-bye. Okay. All right.
He came across very well on the phone.
Okay, good. So as long as everybody could hear him, that's great. Okay, so council, it sounds like we have talked about 30 minutes, but we'll round it out to 8:25 if that works for everybody for the executive session. Sean, do you have anything you want to throw in before we adjourn for executive session? And for our community, if you want to continue to hear the discussion afterwards, if you dial back into this number at 8:25, we should be joining shortly before or after that.
No, that's fine. I know that Ann had identified the RCW with regard to the executive session. So other than that, no, I had nothing further.
Yep, so the executive session is per RCW 42.30.110H, if anybody wants to note that at all. So we will go ahead and adjourn to executive session, and we'll be back online in about 30 minutes. Council, we'll see you on the other number.
Thanks, guys. Take it easy.
Yay.
Okay, let's go back.
Down. Yep.
Hey, can you hear me?
You're on.
Thanks, guys.
Madam Mayor, on the other hand, not yet.
Shout out to Trevor Slocum. Man, you're on late.
Okay, I think we are on. Let me make sure we have all of our council members. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and to any candidates who are in, you're ready for participation. Why did that go?
Got some great feedback going.
No, that's not it. Okay. Sorry about that. Nope.
I think Mike's is on too.
Chris, do you want to come and use my computer and we'll turn yours off?
No, we got it.
Say ah.
Hello? We're gonna blame this one on Mike.
Oh, no.
I love it.
Todd had a hold of my computer.
Okay, sorry for the
Try
contact,
harder.
everybody. Sorry about that. So thank you, everybody.
Where's Todd?
Mike was unmuted.
Todd to the rescue.
Okay, let's try this again. All right, Mike, why don't you say something?
Hello? I'm going to unmute.
No,
Don't unmute.
don't
Don't unmute.
We're using this.
We can hear you.
Okay. We're good. All right. Okay.
Todd, keep your hands off that.
Okay, I'm going to try this again. Thank you to all of our participants tonight. Very, very glad that we had so many people interested, and we really appreciate your time and effort. So what we're going to do, we're going to go around the council members at this time, take nominations, which will, so someone will nominate a candidate, then we'll ask for a second. If that person gets a second, we will take a vote, council, to vote to see if that person will be moving to the next round tomorrow night. So I guess I will just go ahead. First, we'll just start with the council, and if once you raise your hand, if you make sure everybody gets a chance, but if someone wants to start, and I see Councilmember Dunn.
Madam Mayor, I'd like to nominate Sharon Carvo to move forward to interview.
Second.
Okay,
Second.
so we have a nomination. Oh, I heard a second. Who was that? Hugh?
Councilmember
So
Sievers.
Sharon Carvo nominated and seconded. So we'll go ahead, and all in favor of Sharon Carvo moving forward, raise your hand. It'll be easier that way. So I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5, 1. So it looks like Sharon Carvo will be moving to the next round. Okay, next council member. Does anybody want to take the next nomination? I'm going to call on somebody. Okay, Councilmember Langford. Mute.
You're muted.
I'd like to propose the name of DG.
Okay, DG Garcia. Do we have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All right, all in favor of moving DG Garcia to the next round, raise your hand. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 5. All right, so it looks like DG will be moving to the next round as well. Okay, that's 2. Our next nomination. I think Councilmember Kurtz, you had your hand up next.
Yeah, I would like to nominate Drew Morrison.
Okay. Did we have a second for Drew Morrison?
Second.
Second.
Okay, we have moved and seconded. So all of those in favor of Drew Morrison moving to the next round, please raise your hand. We got 1, 2, 3, we got 4. All right, so it looks like Drew will be moving.
Who was the fourth person?
Can you put your hands back up again? I think I had Hugh, Phil, Dan, and Annie. Yep. All right, so it looks like Drew will be moving to the next round. So that's 3. So Hugh, you have another nomination?
I can nominate Chris Cargill.
Second.
All right, do you have a second? And I heard a second. Was that Phil?
Yep. Yes.
Okay, and seconded. So all in favor of Chris Cargill moving to the next round, please raise your hand. So I've got 1, 2, 3, I've got 4 again. All right, so we have Chris Cargill moving to the next round. All right, do we have any other nominations? Go ahead, Councilmember Follier.
I'd like to nominate Jamie Freeze-Baird.
Okay. All right, do we have a second for Jamie?
Second.
Second.
Okay, I heard a couple seconds. All right, so all in favor of Jamie Freeze-Baird moving on to the next round, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, got 5. So we have Jamie moving to the
I have
next.
a nomination.
Okay, and Mayor Pro Tem has a nomination.
I nominate Holly Woodruff.
Okay, we have a second for Holly.
Second.
Okay, looks like we have moved and seconded. So all in favor of Holly Woodruff moving to the next round, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so that makes 6. Are there any other nominations? Oh, we got 2 more. All right, so Councilmember Follier and then Councilmember Sievers.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I'd like to nominate Tiffany Hanf.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded.
Who?
Oh,
yes.
yes. Dr. Lee Finder, hold on. Yes, Dr. Tiffany Hans. All right, so we've moved in second. All in favor of moving her forward to the next round, raise your hand. 1, 2. And opposed, looks like we have 2. So it looks like she will not be moving to the next round. And I think Hugh had another one, or is that it? Any
That
other
was my
nominations?
nomination, so no.
Okay. So if there are other nominations, I'm going to make one last call. No other nominations? Okay. So it looks like moving on in our process to interviews tomorrow at 6 p.m. are Sharon Carvo, DG Garcia. I get Drew's name wrong. Sorry. Drew Morrison, Chris Carville, Jamie Baird, and Holly Woodruff. Again, want to thank everybody for their participation tonight. Amazing batch of candidates. I really encourage everybody to stay involved. We've got boards, commissions, volunteer opportunities all over. So we hope none of you guys are strangers. And so we will look for some correspondence for tomorrow, but if you would please be here at City Hall for all the candidates at 6 p.m. tomorrow. We will move on from the process and be asking questions. So for the council members, if you have not responded to the list of questions, if you can please get that back to Ann and Katie, so we can get the list of questions finalized for tomorrow night. Am I leaving anything out? Katie shaking her head. All right, so I think with that, we are adjourned. Thanks everybody for your participation. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you, everybody who applied.
Absolutely.